Today we'll go how to set up CI/CD with GitHub Action and DBT. So the first thing we need to do is to set up the secrets and variables in GitHub. After you click Use this template and created a new repository, you go on your own repository to Settings, scroll down to Secret and Variables, Actions, and a little more, the private key and the private key passphrase. And then you go to Variables, and then you set the Snowflake account. After that, everything should be working. So what is it and how does it work? GitHub Action is a way, or CI/CD is a way to ensuring that the code that you are pushing to your main branch is tested and linted and validated. And it's also every time you make a change, you validate it, you push it to main, it will be automatically deployed. The first thing we'll do is we will create a new branch. We'll make some changes, so we will make sure things are failing. The first thing we'll do is to change the Markdown. They should be failing now. Then we will change a Yamllint file. Just add a space. Now that will fail. And then for the second model, we will do something that doesn't make sense for SQL. And now that will fail. We also have some tests. And as you can see here, this, my first model, has a unique test. So we will just make sure that this isn't unique anymore. And now we will push everything and see everything fail. We will go to pull request, compare and create a pull request. And let's give this some space. And now let's wait till things are being run. So you can see it is triggering the YAML link, the SQLFluff, the Markdown link, and the DBT on PR. While it's running, I'll show you where the code is located. All the code for the entire CI/CD is located in the .github folder. It has the workflows. These are the workflows that has been run. We have the Yamllint, the SQLFluff, the Markdownlint, and then it has the DBT on PR. The DBT on PR, one of the things it does is that it will go to Snowflake and it'll create a new branch with the name PR and then the number of the pull request. So if we go back to the pull request, you can see this is number 24. And as expected, everything is failing. Let's go over it one by one. The Markdown, you can click on it, and then it will go in and tell you the first line of the file should be top level headings, and then it shows you where the file is. This is to change. Save. Then the SQLFluff. It will give you some indication of the errors, and you can see my second DBT model. So we will go into that one and fix this. And we will do the Yamllint. And you can see the schema. It shows, we have to open this here, trailing spaces. And you can see here it is. So we will remove that. Now we fixed all the linting errors. Let's go back. And look at this one here. You can see it failed because unique my first model. Yeah, this is the error we expected. An extra feature that has been created in the GitHub Actions that you can see the SQL for the code. So if we want to recreate the failing test, we can copy this. We can go into Snowflake, execute it. And you can see here we have unique field in records. So this is the failing test. And if we want to see what record it was, we can remove this, and then we can see the data. So to fix this, we will go in and remove this one again. Deploy this. And then let's wait again. So the first thing that you will notice here is that if we click on the successful tests, now it shows that the SQLFluff is okay, but it doesn't run the Yamllint and the Markdownlint. Why not? It's because it is set up to only run the code or the tests if it has been changed. So we did change an SQL file. Let's go back to the code. So you can see it only says it should only run on pull request. It should run on a schedule. We will go back to this. It will run on what is called workflow dispatch. This means that we can run it just by, we can run it manually, but it will only run on the pull request if a file with the extension SQL has changed. The same thing for Markdownlint and the same thing for YAML files. That is why they are not running right now. Now we can see everything is accepted. Everything is running as expected. Let's go to the Snowflake and let's look at the database. So we can see this PR. Tables, views, everything is as expected. So now let's see what's happening when we are deploying to production. We go back to GitHub. We, of course, as we should, go over the code to see, do we like this code? And then we squash and merge to main. Then we delete the branch. And then a good practice is always in this one here, go to main and update. So now we will look at the action, what is actually happening. So you can see this one showing off CI/CD, DBT on PR close, GitHub action, DBT and PR close. Now this one here is executing. So if we click on this one, you can see it will have a few steps. One of them is DBT check. Cache, I will go back to that. Then handle manifest, I will also go back to this. These two are ignored for now. And now it runs this one here. So what it does, everything is in the code, so you can read it in the code, but generally it will check out the repository. It will set up Python. It will install DBT Core and DBT Snowflake. It will set it up with the profiles. It will run the DBT commands. I'll go back to that. And then it will generate the documentation, and I will show you that. And here we have the deployed DBT docs and GitHub pages. One other thing you will have noticed is if you go back to Snowflake, this PR here is removed. This is done automatically. Let's go over the code and let's see what's happening. We have a on PR. On the PR, it says if it's synchronized. This means that if there is a new commit to it, or if it's reopened, then everything in the Starlight folder, if you change the name to something else, you should also change this. It will go in and then it will run these two scripts. State modified is a feature in DBT, so you will only run the test and the build steps on things that are modified in this PR. The plus here and the plus here means that everything before the files will also be tested and run, and everything after will also be tested and run. This is to ensure that we have the newest data and that we don't make any mistakes upstream or downstream. However, to do this, we need to create something called a manifest file. This is what you will set here with initial manifest. It's beyond the scope of this video to go deep into it because you really need to understand the fundamental of DBT on how this works. But just know that if you want to create the manifest file, you just set this one to true. So on close, it does three things. It of course installs the dependencies, it builds with the target GitHub, and then it drops the schema of the PR. Then on a schedule, right now I have removed the schedule because this is not a live data warehouse. This is just for me. But if you want to do this, you just add these and deploy. Then you add what commands you want. I want a full build, but you could also just do run. And you can actually have multiple of these on a schedule. So let's say that part of your data warehouse needs to be updated once an hour. Other parts of the data warehouse needs to be updated once a week. This is also a great way of saving money. So you can be really granular here. On dispatch, this is similar to the schedule. Dispatch just means you can do it manually. And it does the same. So when I say manually, it means go in here to the action, choose the action that you want. Click here, and then it will run the entire script. What about the DBT docs? So part of this step, at least for the DBT docs, it is set to true. It will generate the DBT catalog. So if you click here, it'll open the DBT catalog. Let's go back. GitHub Action is a fascinating topic. It's CI/CD is also a fascinating topic. It's something that can save you a lot of heartache, a lot of headaches. It can ensure that you catch errors in development and not in production. It means that if there is a change in the source system, you will find the error on the data load, and you will not find the error when a person from the business is contacting you and saying, "Hey, what is wrong?" This is the GitHub Action. It's a broad topic. There's a lot of code that makes everything work. But for now, if you just change the tree variable, everything should work for you. Thank you very much for watching.